All right. Let's, let's start again, shall we? Let's start from the beginning. In the beginning, there was unity. Woohoo! Yes, yes, unity. Awesome. We love it. Togetherness. Everybody. Let's all unify and be one with everything. And there it is. Unity. The pirate game. So we're going to, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start and we're going to create a pirate game from scratch. We're going to code in Visual Studio Code. And we're going to do this with help from AI chatbot ChatGPT. This is going to be called Pirate Game. Create project. Now, what are we going to start with? How are we going to begin this? Well, okay, I could use some water. I could use some coffee, but we're going to hold off on that. We're going to take this slowly, one step at a time. What type of game do you think I should make that involves pirates? Excuse me. Pirate trade and battle sim. Light RTS plus economy. Core loop. Buy low, sell high across ports. Manage crew. Upgrade ship. Avoid or engage pirates. Combat. Optional auto-resolve or real-time ship battles. Replayability. Procedural trade routes. Random events. Why this works. Fits your Unity skill set and can grow in scope. Crew management roguelite. Core loop. Each run, recruit a crew, explore islands, fight enemies, and uncover treasure. Mechanics. Permadeath. Randomly generated islands, upgradable ship, / crew traits. Theme, a cursed sea, rival pirate factions, mythological sea monsters. Why this works. Small iterative design, easy to add depth over time. Power defenses, pirate fort, core loop, defend your pirate hideout from invading natives and rival pirates. Okay, so I could see this working out. So you want to start small and expand. The question is, how do we use this pirate figure? And what about the ships? Oh, right. I should mention that I have this creative pirate samples models. So we're going to go ahead and delete these. Yes. Models or samples? Models. Yes, we're going to delete this and this. And we're just going to import this models these models. Looks like it has some self-intersecting that it doesn't want to do. Characters, items. All right. Okay. Well, given what we have, I think we should do like a pirate. We should do like a pirate. Maybe like a pirate takeover or a pirate defense game. Okay. Okay. Because we have a palm tree, we have groundwater, vegetation. Because that's doable. That's doable. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a pirate defense or pirate invasion game. We have 3-dimensional objects that we can use and that only allow for, how do I put this? Like a, have you ever played, what's it called? Rayman and the rabbit and the crazy rabbit? It's kind of like that. You have different types of games. He's like in jail. You have different types of games that he plays in order to get out, and it's just like added complexity. It's gonna be kind of like that. Okay. And FPS attack / defense game. I don't know why I said experience. It's an immersive game experience. Defend the fort, invasion mode. There you go. 1v1. Mechanics to implement in Unity. Cannon and musket systems. Slow / reload, high damage, iron sights or hip fire for muskets, trap deployment, dynamic fortifications. Yeah, so this works. I'm getting some ideas from this. Use nav mesh. Okay. Okay. So, pretend for a second I don't know what I'm doing. Which I don't. But we have all these cool, fun So let's see, if I were to take up these sand, right, sand, water, do we just have a water? Yeah, we just want a water. Whoa, look at that. Look at that water. Okay, so we want to randomly generate this. We want it to be, right, it's on the ground. We want to randomly generate these. So here's the question. How do we, and let's force a ratio here. Full HD. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. How do we force a correct random generation of these blocks? So this is going to take several hours within itself to manage to build. We want, so for instance, we want this water, we want a hexagon, right? Sand, water, right? So luckily it's in a good shape, right? Sand, right? And it just goes on and on and on forever and ever. What about this one? Right? Sand border. No, we don't want that. Like, where would this go? Like there? What's that? Kinda, sorta, not really. If you can hear that, that's my device spinning up. It's gonna heat up my room pretty fast. If you want to go ahead and donate, let me know that you want to donate. That would be great. I could buy a new computer. Anyways. Alright, so we want it to look something like that. And then we get like sand. And what happens is pirate boat comes along. Let's see. It's up. How many? 2. Three. Woo, too fast. Yeah, it's up like 2 or 3. And the end we got, pirates hopping out onto the thing and game start. Right? Okay. So, a randomly generated map design with hexagonal blocks. Hexagonal blocks. We have water, sand to water. Grass to water. Ground and sand. Hexagonal blocks. Let's see what it says. Perfect. Let's build a randomly generated pirate map using hexagonal blocks in Unity. This is ideal for modular design and varied terrain. Here's how we'll approach it step by step. Each hex tile, a 3D island piece, ocean, beach, fort, etc. Tiles are procedurally generated at runtime or seeded. You'll use offset coordinates or cube coordinates for hex math. That's correct. Grid basics. Use float topped hexes for natural horizontal exploration. Hex layout, 2D array with offset logic. Hex width is that times q over 2. So this is the logic for hex. Hex type enumerator. Hex type ocean, beach, jungle, fort, cliff. So, public game object, tile prefab. Match enumeration order. Generate map. Q width, right? That's the logic into type. So let's see if we can get it to, let's see if we can get this to run. Fog of war. We're pirates. Okay. So, we're going to start with the logic that I don't know what I'm doing. How about that? I have absolutely no idea. Let's see. Step by step, hex grid basics. Define hex tile types. Make a hex type enumerator. Add a hex tile prefab with mesh. So let's see. Mesh renderer. And scriptable object. Okay, so what's this one look like? Yeah, see? It could be totally cool. Cloud. We'll do the clouds later. So here's what we'll do. Whoops. That's not what we wanted. FBX. So new folder typed what's this? Hex dash land or hex dash ground What do we call these things? Hexagons. Hexagon floor. Hexagons. You know, I'm just going to call them hexagons. There we go. And we are going to take our hexagons. We're going to move them. We don't need this one. And delete. I'm gonna rename this pirate game objects. Hexagons. And we got all our hexagons in here. Okay. So. Ooh. So, let's see. It's like, why don't these fit? You know? It's like these are supposed to be end of world type deal. Same with the sand. Yeah. We have a ground sand one. Alright, so that's a bit of a problem. We want like water, right, to be next to water. We want sand to be next to sand, and grass to be next to grass. Right? And so like I'm looking for a sand to grass one. Don't see it. Grass is the same height as the water. This is strange. Anyways. So, tell me what you mean by I should enumerate the hex type. Tell me what you mean by I should enumerate the hex type. Sorry, I'm angrily mashing this keyboard. To define a set of named values. In your case, you're using it to represent different types of hex tiles on your pirate map. Instead of using random numbers or strings like ocean, fort, we define them once and use readable labels. String tile type. Okay. And then it goes on. Yes, essentially, yes. I think so. So here's what I did. I did the public learning route where I was able to excuse me. I was able to learn basic things just from reading and doing some practice. So, So what I want? It's okay. So let me type in exactly what this is. So there's more than just different types of hexagons. There are ones that have both grass/water, grass is height 3, water is height 2. Is that right? Let's see, grass is height 3. Why did I think that grass was height 2? Maybe we should just get rid of that one. Alright, so here's a ground grass water, and here's a grass water. Are they the same height? Listen to that thing spin up. Woo! There's water, grass, comma, grass, sand. Sand slash water. And then is there grass sand? There's no grass sand. As well. Also, there are borders that drop off suddenly. Comma, i.e. End of the map. The end of the map. Also, some hex tiles are height 2, while the majority are height 3. Also, Also, some are height 2, while the majority are height 3. Okay, so it's understanding, and it also asks if it wants us to automatically convert if we have those different hex tiles. And so I'm going to say, okay, first tell me what I have to do in order to generate our first map. Okay, 3D basic camera, lighting, and empty scene. Folder structure, scripts, prefabs, materials, terrain. So it's saying we can just create our own, but we have all these prefabs here. So let's see. I'm having trouble understanding this. In hexenums.cs, so maybe I create this first. Let's see what happens. Normal behavioral script, hex enums.cs. Right, finally we can open up a script. Hmm. Okay. Now, if I were to take this script, jeez Louise, simply add it to this, what does it say here? Step 2, ran into this problem. Okay, so let's delete all of these first of all. I know this is not the issue we're having here. Create a dictionary. Project view. Open the thing. Select root game object when you spawn in. Start with this. Let's start with grass. In the inspector, click Add Component. Add component. Jeez. Wrong. Expect to click Add Component Hex Tile. How do I do that? Imported object. I don't remember seeing all these things before. Let's see. If we go to OBJ, do we get that? No. But we get something similar. So And work with the instance. Okay. And so let's see. Hex tile. No, that's not it. Hextile.cs. Okay. Now if we were to click and drag, base type, water, no, grass, none, blend type, normal. Alright. Then work with the object. Okay, so we did that. So I want these things to be, either predetermined so that we can just have it instantiated. But apparently we have to bring it in before we can give it attributes. So I want to see what's up with that. Unity prefabs can't have dynamically generated attributes built in. They can only hold default / static ones. To give them at runtime, you use like his style. One generic prefab. That's for random generation. Okay. Do we have a groundwater border? Groundwater. What's this one called? Groundwater sand. Groundwater. Ah. Okay, so how do we? Okay, so I'm failing to see the. I want to go with option 1. So how do we get to go with option 1? So how do we get all the tiles that we have. How do we give all the tiles that we have their proper attributes before instantiating them? What? No. And it says I want to go with option 2. Huh. Okay. Hmm. Concept clarification. Since you're only using one prefab, the prefab is just a container. It's like an empty hex slot that becomes water, grass, etc. The attributes are not assigned to the prefab asset but are computed right before you instantiate each tile using logic in your generator script. So we generate the attributes first and pass them into the initialize function of the prefab after instantiation. Attach the hex tile script to the generic prefab. In Unity, add the hex tile, save and close. The prefab now ready to be initialized after spawning. Prepare your generator script. So this one's telling me not to This one's telling me not to have these blocks, these hexagons that I want. So let's create okay. You know, this is all right. I guess, you know. Eesh. How does it it said here, of course. So we have scripts, prefabs, hex tiles, and terrain materials. So create folder, scripts, create folder prefab, and materials. Whoops. Delete. Create materials. Okay. So, option 1. Attach the hex tile script to the generic prefab. So, let's give it our thing. We go to models, items, object. Let's take this water. Let's copy. Don't like that. Let's take it from OBJ then. Prefab, scripts, and then materials. So if we go to this prefab, we have a material here. We have some materials and prefab, it's gone. Let's look at the inspector. Model. We should know model. Materials. All right. Let's leave it to prefab. Default mesh. Let's see. Right. Nice and smooth. So if we were to take this and apply it, what would it look like? Okay, that looks like grass. That's definitely grass. So we name it grass. Grass, wonderful. Grass. Water. And we get it to blue. Get it to blue. Metallic map. Smoothness. I almost want to make it metallic, so we give it this one. Voila, water. Ooh, can we make it transparent also? Sort of, yeah. Look at that, water, transparent. Does this have? What is this? Grass, water. Let's go back to the water. Make sure it's transparent. Blending mode alpha. Workflow mode. Specular, and this one is specular. No, I like it metallic. Easy to revert back. Okay, grass, water, and then sand. New material, sand. Smoothness. Not smooth at all. Rough. How metallic do we want it? Not metallic. I think it should be darker. There we go. Now we can make it metallic. And not metallic, smooth. Do we want a metallic? No, we don't. Opaque. And how about specular? Alright, that works. Sand, grass. La-da-da. Prefab. Create. My goodness. Look at all these things. This is just some create. I think this is mostly exactly it, but there's also variables within each one. GUI skin. No, delete that. Yes, delete. Okay. Rename to hexagon. Hexagon. Scripts. Okay, let's give it the hexmapgenerator.cs. What else? Hex tile. So this is for hex tile. Okay. Okay, so here's the new vision. Smaller hexagons and simply when we want a border, we stop generating. Also, and because we're using smaller hexagons, we don't need cross material hexagons. Only 3 materials are sand, water, and what was that? Grass. We don't need cross material hexagons. Could be racist. Don't know. I tried not to be. I hope you don't think that's racist. It's not. I'm trying to be not racist. Enough with the racism already. Okay. Okay, simplified. Alright, simplified. Hex map generator. Yes. I think we needed it simplified because next to world. We needed it simplified, or at least we needed hex tile simplified because it had this. It's like, what is this? This dot. Okay. So now it's like, how do I turn this into a prefab? Like, it's not, you know, this is hex tie. Really? Really? Remove component. New script. Bleh. Bleh. So there's a hexagon in the scene, and when I try and add this script to it, I get said error. So it's one of these errors. It's not the first one. Hex tile. Oh. There's a base type, height level. What is this dot base type? I was looking at that earlier and that didn't make any sense earlier. What is this dot base type? This is based type. I don't know. Let me go ahead and compiling errors. It says there is ambiguity between base type and height level. Just rename them. Rename them for me. Thank you. CS 0229. Awesome. Awesome to the maximum. Okay, so no problem errors. In hex tile. But can't add script component hex tile because a script class cannot be found. Make sure there are no compile errors and the file name and class name match. Hex tile. Okay. Yeah, there's no hex enums. All right. Yes, thank you. Now I gotta go in my delete that. Yes. Thank you. Hex tie delete. Okay. Scripts. Click on this. Hex tile. Voila! Water material, sand material, grass material. Save it in your scripts folder wherever the code lives. Okay, everything works now. Okay. Okay, so the one tile has all the materials and so how and when will it automatic generate a generate the map, a map, just one, please. All right, so create random empty object, map manager, and attach the hex map generator to it. Width, height, hex width 0.1, hex height 0.2. All right, press play. Oops. Prefab. hexagon. Alright, press play. Alright, so we got one here. Yeah, so I don't know, you know? It's got a material. How do we get rid of it? We cannot delete it. Here's what we can do. Maybe create not animation. Rendering. I don't know what to do here. This is the automatic, like if we drop it in there. No, it doesn't automatically do it, but it's an object. It's not a prefab. So we got one thing. What happens if we just press play? Does it does the same thing? Let's see. Help me create a new hexagon prefab. Okay, so hierarchy, 3D object. Let's see. Cylinder. All right, we're gonna blow this up. We're gonna no, we're not. We're gonna look for. So this is about the size that we want. You know. Now, how do we hex tile and flat to look like this? Drag the mesh. So maybe we do that. What's this? Default mesh. Well, there it is. Now what do we do with this? Add the script to it. Hex tile. Let's see. Hexagon. All right, and then we add the, say, water, sand, grass, right, and then say so. I think we want. Something tells me we want this one. Here, let's go. Accidentally deleted it, so let's go back to it in the. What was it? It was probably water, right? Water.object. Woo. Yep. Let's see. Just with the mesh. Drag the mesh into Unity. Okay, so drag the mesh. Add the script. I should have just listened to, or just done what it said to do the first time. Water, sand, grass. Right, height level 0. One of the three. Okay. Rename X tile. Now go to prefab. Just drag it in. Voila. Okay. Now we go to our map manager. Missing game object. Let's put in hex tile. Alright, let's delete it and press play. Oh wow, look at that. Pause. So, what went wrong? Probably somewhere in the map manager. Okay, so I made the hex a little bit too small. The height is 3 and the width is 2, I think. So let's try that one more time, see what happens. Okay. Height is 3, width is 3. That didn't work. Let's make the width 3. Okay, we gotta make the width much more. Let's make the width 10. Screw it. No, not screw it. Let's try and get it right. Okay. So the width works. Seems like. Oh, that was a little too much. But let's see. Will it compile? Will it look right? So I think we were doing like, it was like 7. I don't know. Okay, so that works. There's a fine line, and this is like, what if this is 7 also? What then? Should be some overlap. Yeah, there's some overlap. maybe we make this 14. This 14. Nope. Let's make those 10 again. So what's the problem? Does there need to be a rotation? Seven, 9, 10. Let me see. I don't know. What do I do with this math? So this looks fine. This looks like it could, not cause any problems. This looks, those edges are right. So is this one. It's just that every... I don't know. Let's redo the math on the hex map generator. Did it have us redo the generator? Okay, so we need to okay, I generated a map and it seems like we need to redo the math. Yeah. All right. See how this one works. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And what should this be? Should this be 10? No. Should this be 7? 7? Let's try again. Try again. Wow, look at that. Everything worked. We were able to generate a map. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Woohoo! Awesome. And we got a few lower, right? Isn't that cool? That's totally awesome. And now if we were to make this 100 by 100, this might take a while, but let's see what happens. Look at that. Okay, so this is a pretty big step. We're able to generate a working map from the colors, and some of them are a little bit lower, but that's okay. We like that. We need that. We don't want everything to just be one giant flat thing. You know, it's not a cool haircut. So let us So it works, comma, doesn't, how do I say this? Doesn't, shrink or enlarge the hexagon. But I'm still happy. I'm still happy. No. But I'm still happy. I would like there to be I would like the materials to be grouped though and random. Grouped, although random. Okay. Rewrite with hex width and hex height equal to 7. Kind of want to say that. Okay, get base type by noise. Get random base to get base type by noise. Pretty simple, right? Replace this function with this other one. And then hold on. Control Z. Get random base. Place with get base type by noise. Oh, and then in the generate map function, get random base to get base type by noise. Q comma space R. Okay, no errors. Compiling is not a problem. And then we got public scale. So how do we do it here? Public float. Public float. Scale. Let's see, from what I can tell, scale of patch. No, we don't want patch. Cluster. Scale of cluster equals 0.1 f semicolon okay. There we go. Tweak your threshold. So I think there's just the scale. Oh no, there's more to it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's make it 100 by 100. Look at that. Look at that. Water. You got water, you got sand, you got grass. This is exactly what we wanted right here. This is it. All right. Is this exactly this? Let's see. It's hold on. Whoa. Does it do the same one every time? Yes, it does. So we'll have to fix that later. We'll have to start generating seeds. But what I can see is a boat floating along these hexagons, and eventually making it to land somewhere. So we have a little fort here. This could be like a map. This could be the map of the game right here, and we just add a fort, and we sail across these seas. We could change these parameters with these thresholds. But yeah, we were able to create something resembling what we wanted. So we're one step closer, and I'm pretty happy with the result. So yeah, awesome, you guys. Hey, we'll pick this up another time. Super happy with the result of this. I got stuff coming up in a couple hours anyways, but this was super fun. Go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. We'll continue on with this, and eventually by the end of it we'll have a full complete game, and we'll see what we do with it. All right, you guys. Peace.